Hey, what's up guys, it's Mike with Alpha Reptile back with another video today, and today is the last day of Jam-Packed July, day 31, and we're ending this on a Q&A Tuesday, so you know what? Let's get into the Q&A Tuesday. Our first question comes from MoleRatGaming. 1. Favorite plants for poison dart frog vivariums? I would say probably Ficus pumila, I guess like Selaginella unsonata. That's probably my two favorite commonly available ones, but there's a ton that I like more than that. 2. Favorite species of dart frog that I've kept? Ooh, I don't know. I'm gonna have to say probably my Pumilio, my Almirante, just because they are so unique and so bold. They call so much, they're just a lot of fun to have. 3, in your opinion, the best species of dart frogs to begin with? And 4, how loud are poison dart frogs at night? Does it make it hard to sleep? The best beginner dart frogs are probably Dendrobates tinctorius, Dendrobates auratus, and Dendrobates leucomelos. That's the dying poison dart frog, the I don't know what poison dart frog, and the bumblebee dart frog. Those are probably the best ones. As for noise at night, they are diurnal, so they don't make any noise at night. If you can hear chirping in the background, that's a cricket. Death to all crickets. I hate them. I hate them, but they're a necessity. So thank you for your question, MoleRatGaming. That is my answer. Next one we can move on to is VictorG. VictorG says, a lot of reptile keepers get into tarantulas and scorpions, so would you ever get any? Also, if I got a chameleon, I would definitely get a male Jackson's. Gotta love those horns. I agree. Jacksons are really cool. They don't really do very well in the climate that I live in, but for tarantulas and scorpions don't really interest me that much. Tarantulas, once I move out, due to no constraints anymore, I would probably get a tarantula, just one, because I think they're really cool and they're a lot of fun to interact with. I probably wouldn't use it as a holding type, wow, this is a tarantula, check it out. I'd probably just use it as a watch this cricket hole, throw a cricket in, just grabs it and zips back in, that kind of thing. If it's a really cool tarantula, I'm in. So thank you very much for that question. We can now move on to Denver Holmen. He says, which animal would you recommend for a beginner out of my collection? I mean, I have most of the kind of beginner species. I do plan to make a new beginner reptile video. My old one is kind of outdated, and I still get called out daily on the lack of beardy life expectancy, but I would probably say the top 3 are leopard gecko, crested gecko, and blue-tongued skink. If you're going to invest a little bit more research and you want to spend a little bit more money, then I would suggest probably a red Aki would honestly be one of my next choices. And of course, if you want a lifelong pet, a tortoise works well. You have to make sure that you do a ton of research before you get a tortoise. The next question comes from Charles CREP. Will you ever get a gargoyle gecko? Probably not. They don't really intrigue me. I would love to get a Chihuahua gecko, and we have one at work, and I am so tempted. I'm just really trying to keep my willpower strong and focus on the stuff that I kind of want to work with in the future. The gargoyle geckos just aren't something that I'm all that into. It's basically like a different looking crested gecko in terms of care, size, and obviously not their appearance, but in care and size they're very similar to a crested gecko, so it's not something that I'm really looking to get into. Jacopo Bartholomew says, you've been getting day geckos. Are you interested in giant day geckos? I would say no. They're really cool and I think they look really good in a nice large viv. But honestly, I just don't want to dedicate that large of a viv, I think a really nice display viv, that kind of vibe. I don't really want to dedicate that to something like day geckos. If I was going to get a cage that big, I'd want it to be a really nice display vivarium with either some crazy dart frogs or emerald tree boa or something like that. I probably wouldn't dedicate that space to something like a Madagascar giant day gecko. They're cool, they're just not for me. Thank you for that question though. That was a pretty solid question. Now we can move on to the next one, which is Kevin Poe. He says, have you heard of blue-tongued skinks, and if so, would you consider getting one? I have heard of blue-tongued skinks. If you haven't, they're really cool animals. You can see a picture up here. Hopefully I remember to pop it up, but they're very different from blue-tongued skinks. They stay a lot smaller, they're more arboreal. They are very, very cool skinks. Well, that's not true. I've never seen one in person for sale, but I have seen them some places in Canada before, and I have to say that it's just not what I'm looking for in an animal. It's something that I think is really cool, and I think a lot of people should have and should breed. It's just not something that's really on my radar, if you know what I mean. But thank you very much for that question, Kevin. Ooh, Hunter, my boy. He asks, what is the one species that I regret selling? So if you guys haven't seen yesterday's episode, the 30th, I would definitely go back and watch it because there are some major channel updates that are happening and kind of going on in the reptile room. So if you don't know, you should probably go find out. But with that being said, I think I might end up regretting the Erotis. I really think I might end up regretting selling them. That's something that I will deal with when the time comes, though. As for other stuff, I think besides them, the only other like regret that I have selling are my Lygodactylus williamsi. Just seeing them go to CITES 1, it broke my heart. It's so sad to see. Now they're going for so much more money, and I mean, that's not for me the money, but I was like one of the few people in Alberta, in Western Canada, that was actually having success with them, and I ended up selling them. So it's kind of unfortunate, and now especially when I'm getting back into day geckos, I kind of wish that I had them. But that's life. You kind of roll with the punches, and I made a wrong head bob and got punched, unfortunately. That's my answer. I think the second most disappointing one was the Ufaga Pumilio Rio Colubre. It's not that I regret selling the frogs so much, because they are really cool frogs. I just never saw them. I regret selling that vivarium because that was like a gem to me. It had so many rare plants, and it was so much fun to build that I really do wish that I had that tank back. I think I'm going to head over to Jordan's house in the next little while here, hopefully, and check it out just to see how it's doing. But thank you for that question, Hunter. The next question comes from Sean Castleberry. He says, I have a question for Q&A Tuesday. Will you ever own another monitor species? If so, which one? The answer is yes. I might not own it whilst in my current bedroom here. I probably will have to move out before I can get some monitors. There's so many that I'd get. If we're talking like the Odatria complex, I would like to get, which is like the Australian kind of complex, the dwarf monitors. The Brevicaudata are really cool. I would definitely get a Kimberly Rock monitor. Those are super, super hard to find and really cool. Pilbaras are epic, but I'd definitely get a Kimberly before I got a Pilbara. And probably the number one on that list would be a female Red Aki, because I would be stupid to not have one. Exhibit A of stupid right here. Other than that, if we're looking to like the Indo complex, then I'd be looking at stuff like the Biak tree monitors, so like the green tree monitors. I would do a blue tree monitor. I would do... Yellow trees are cool, but I don't know if I'd go for them first. Varanus obor, which Cody has, if you haven't seen that video, is insane. A really nice medium-sized monitor is something that I'd really like to have, and that Varanus obor that he has, or the torch monitor, is so, so nice. So I hope he doesn't see this and gets, you know, his horn tooted. But it is an incredible animal, and I think he knows that. So that's what I'd get. There is a whole list of monitor species that I'd get, but unfortunately, I doubt most of them will happen, because I hope sometime in the future I'm in a place in my life where I can afford all of them, but I kind of doubt that right off the bat. But that was a really cool question. It's nice to see those kind of questions. I might do like a couple frequently asked questions at the end of this episode, just to kind of answer some questions that I see reoccurring all the time, but we'll get into those in a second. The last question comes from Marquise Mayweather. Did I build Bowser's cage? The answer is no, I did not build that cage. My buddy Jordan, who I sold many of my frogs to and I bought the Pumilio behind me from, is a mill worker, and he builds stuff, cabinets, tables, whatever you need, he can build it. He builds those tanks for me I mean, they're not cheap, but I think they look incredible, so I'm very happy with them. I'm really happy that they're holding up and they're doing well. So that's the answer to your question. Now, I figured I would answer a couple of your kind of frequently asked questions. I am going to be making like a full video about this where I actually go to different locations, but I wanted to answer a couple different questions that I've seen in the past, not so much in like the comment sections of these videos, but like, do I go to school, or what do I go to school for, as well as like, what's my favorite animal in my room. I guess I'll answer like, do a video with your girlfriend kind of thing. So I'll address that last one first. One of the reasons why Jam-Packed July was really tough was because, unfortunately, me and my girlfriend actually split up. I won't go into too many details, but basically just like 7 years together, and now I'm a single boy, so yeah, that's why it's been kind of crazy during this last month. Other than that, I'm not gonna like say anything about it. I already kind of feel like a little maybe that I shouldn't say it, but I'll probably keep it in the video just because, for those of you that make it to the end, kind of deserve to know. I guess that's just my philosophy, at least. The next question is kind of like, what is my favorite animal that I have in my reptile room? And that would probably have to be Bowser or Striker. Striker is my very first reptile, and I love him so. Bowser, just because he's so chill. Monitors are so intelligent, and I can just like stick my hand in there, he'll crawl up on my shoulder, and we can just hang out for a while. So that's really nice to have in any size lizards, let alone a monitor lizard. For looks wise, I think it has to go to the Clemeri, right? They're just probably the coolest looking day gecko out there, or certainly the more commonly kept day geckos, and even they are not that common. So that answers that question. And the last question that I'm going to answer in this video is the whole school question. Yes, I do go to university. I'm going into my 5th year biology. I have it's a 4-year program that I'm taking 5 years to complete. Basically, it's just a major in biology, and I might end up with a minor in anthropology, like primatology. I would kind of have to figure that out pretty soon, though, and then I'll probably end up going back to school after next year for another 2 years to do a education degree. That would just give me the ability to teach in schools and whatnot. That's the end of this video. I hope you guys got your answers to your questions and enjoyed the whole video. I know I had a blast making it, so I hope you enjoyed watching it. I want to ask you guys that made it to the very end of this relatively long video, if you could ask like your frequently asked questions in the comments down below, because I will be making like a longer style, kind of more edited video than just sitting in front of a camera talking to you guys. So if you're interested in some of the stuff that I kind of touched on, leave your comments down below and I can answer them for you. Now, with that being said, if you liked the video, smash that like button. It really helps me out. Like I said earlier, leave your comments in the comments section. I answer pretty much everything, unless it's a question that I'm going to address on a video, or it's just a stupid comment. Then I won't reply, but otherwise I reply to everything. And if you liked my channel enough during this Jam-Packed July, make sure you smash that subscribe button, as well as play Ding Dong Ditch with the doorbell next to it. That way you get notified every time I go live or post a video, or at least in theory, because apparently that doesn't happen occasionally. A leaving thought for this video is that I really want to say thank you guys. There are several of you that tuned in to pretty much every episode and commented on every episode this whole month, and without getting too emotional, it means a lot to me to have a solid base of you guys that tune into every single one of my videos, comment, we have discussions in the comment section. Some of you guys follow me on over to like Instagram and we talk there. So I kind of want to make a thank you video. I think I will. Hopefully it'll be coming out later this week, but I really want to thank you all from the very bottom of my heart for sticking with me, supporting the channel, buying my merch if you want. Hopefully more of that coming out soon, by the way. I guess we're just on to greener pastures. August is going to be a crazy month, and I'm not going to spoil anything for you guys, but I think you'll like some of the content that is coming at you. So I hope you guys have a good one. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video. Later.